Hello and welcome to another episode of Good Evening from Korea with your host, Overlord Pop-Tart. So says the YouTube channel name, the nickname that I was given 5 years ago and haven't shrugged off because of the, whole selling like $400 worth of Pop-Tarts thing in high school. If you're wondering where that story is, haha, you have to look like 3 months back into my videos to find it. Just kidding. I sold a lot of Pop-Tarts in high school. That's the entirety of the story. Don't bother looking through the videos. They're all garbage. Just stay here. Look, check out this intro I have. Good evening from Korea. See? That's so much less garbage than the garbage that I had when I first made this channel. And it's still really garbage. I'm fully aware of that. But this is the first episode that I'm going to be recording after having put out the fact that this channel exists on Facebook. So if anyone new is watching this, hello and welcome. Pretty much everything is in this format. Just me sitting here, microphone here so that you can hear me as well as possible. This room is giant and very echo-y. This microphone was like $100 and it's huge, which means it's not all that great. And the recording software I'm using is free. And also, I've just realized that I don't have the watermark up for it, so I'm going to put that on now, just in case they try to sue me. See? There we go. Yeah, it's a bit of a hodgepodge, but it's just a channel for updating as to what I've been doing every day. It keeps me active-ish, and every now and then I'll post some gameplay or include some of that into one of these of just me playing some video games for fun. It's very relaxed. It's very held back. It's very low effort, I would pretend. It's more so just crammed into the last minutes of my day because, as said, this is Good Evening from Korea. I'm recording this at 7:53 at night. So I don't go to bed until like 10:30 if my internet is nice to me today. It's just the life I lead, that crazy hard rock and party crashing lifestyle of mine, which I'll get into immediately. Today I woke up at 6:45. Today I woke up at 6:45 to my alarm for once, and when I heard it go bam right in my ear, for some reason on this particular day it scared the heck out of me. So instead of like clicking that it was my alarm, waking up, getting ready for the day, etc., I just heard this really loud beep, and I just bah! And like smashed the alarm clock, and I turned the off button on, so I was like, click, okay, cool, successful, loud beeping noise, eliminated, time to continue sleeping. An hour later, as I was laying in bed, half awake, half asleep, I realized that my alarm went off an hour ago, and immediately jumped out of bed to start getting ready for the day. Luckily, I wasn't too late for work or anything like that. I was like, I think 30 seconds late to a place I had to be, but no big deal. I just ate my breakfast, went about my day, took my shower, shaved, brushed my teeth, etc., just like always. Then we had that mask fitting that I was talking to you about yesterday. Luckily, it was extremely quick. They have you sit down, put your chemical mask on that everyone in Korea is assigned. You put that on, get it fit kind of to a general, kind of snug level. And then they take a hose, which is meant to be used for drinking water, I believe. If you have your mask on, you can drink water through that. They put that little hose up to a vacuum machine, and it creates a small suction in there. And you pull down all of the straps until you don't hear a whistling noise anymore. That means no air is escaping. And then the person in the mask breathes in, breathes out, moves their head around, makes sure that it's all tight, and makes sure that you aren't getting any extra air in your system other than the air coming through your filters on the sides of your mask. And it actually doesn't take that long. It takes maybe 2 or 3 minutes to do. And by the time I got there, 9:30, for some reason, my entire unit was like 20 minutes early. So everyone was done. So I showed up. I was there for 6 minutes or so as I waited for the last person to do theirs. I did mine. And then we all went home. So fantastic. It worked out really well. I got to work on my video a little bit more for work. I'm working on a video for the UNC, the United Nations Commission, Command? I've been working on this for a while. I'm a little frazzled. I've been working on a pretty big video though for them. It's 10 minutes, 30 seconds long, I believe, which is really, really long in terms of the editing that we're doing. Like, it's not what this is. It's not just dude spits at camera, puts up that footage. Like, it's editing together all of the audio, putting in music, putting in different photos and videos and having to find those and figure out who's who in the photos and videos. It's a whole heck of carbunkled nonsense, but it's work, and I'd rather be doing that than sitting around all day, which is what I did other than work. After I was done working on that video for a little bit, I played more Grand Theft Auto today, which is a game where you drive cars, shoot people, and steal things. That's pretty much the trifecta of anything you do in that game, but I'm mostly into the driving part of that. I'm very much a car person, as you may or may not know. I'm saying this for the returning viewers. I'm saying this for the newer people who may not know. I'm very much a car kind of person. I like the mechanics of it. The customization in that game is actually really impressive on certain cars. So, played a lot of that today. I finished a mission which was not up to snuff. I was really let down by it. Wasn't that interesting. It took a lot of time to set up. You don't make any money from it. The guy I did it with was like a weird... He was very low level in the game. He wasn't very experienced. He didn't know much of what he was doing. But for some reason, doing that particular mission, quest, heist, whatever it's called, he was extremely well versed. Like, he knew where everything was. There's a hacking segment that kind of foils a lot of people's plans when it comes to that mission. He immediately did it like first try. There was a spot that he drove where it glitched him down under the map and then into the mission farther somehow. Like, he was speed running through this stuff. Speed running is when you complete a video game as quickly as possible, especially through breaking the game. Like, he was just using every tactic in the book to get this thing done as quickly as possible. And meanwhile, I'm over here at quadruple his level doing it for the first time. Like, who are these people? Where am I going? Who am I? What am I? Where am I? Like, no idea what I was doing. So this complete newbie just showed me up. That was the one entertaining part of it, was just him doing everything completely correctly until the getaway drive, in which we're both driving two cars. It was an older kind of retro rally car. They were both stock. They weren't that fast. The point of them was to run away from the police. Now what I did was I drove around, I got to a straight stretch, and I drove up into the mountains and hid. And this guy who was like speedrunning, going as fast as he can, he kept hitting roadblocks, because in the game the police are actually rather intelligent, and they'll set up roadblocks ahead of you with spike strips and everything, and they'll use helicopters to find you and everything. I got rid of the police in about a minute and a half, and then drove to our location. I then spent 4 minutes waiting for him to show up, because as he was driving so recklessly, he didn't avoid the police, and he had to before he got to the end of the destination. So that was my one kind of enjoyable bit of that, was just getting completely shown up in all respects by this guy, but still finishing the mission before him, because I knew how to drive a little bit more conservatively to get away from the problem. So I was proud of myself for that, for no reason in particular. Then afterwards I made no money in particular, because it was just a bad mission. Did a different mission, got way more money from that, called it a day. Then I had to go shopping. I went to go try to pick up some stuff. I actually do have a picture of it. I thought I had enough to do that. They're out of... Let me scoot over so I can fit it. They were out of milk. And I don't mean like, oh, they were out of my fancy silk milk. Oh, they're out of my almond milk that I like. I only like the chocolate almond milk because then I feel like I'm eating Nesquik every time I have cereal. No, it was, they're out of milk. There was one kind of milk left, and it was a 1 gallon milk for $7.19, which is too much. I didn't buy it, needless to say. So now my refrigerator is full of like waffles and oatmeal and like bread for toast and like Pop-Tarts. I'm going to be putting my toaster into overdrive for the next 2 weeks until we actually get some more milk in so I can have cereal. Anyway, I was tempted to actually go for a drive afterwards because despite it only being 25 degrees out, according to my phone down here, it actually felt really nice. I don't know why. It was a very clear night. The air was semi-solid. We have a lot of problems with air quality here in Korea. It's pretty smoggy, pretty nasty. It's just one of the perks of living here, I suppose. Anyway, it was pretty clear tonight, so I was tempted to go for a drive because as I am in Korea, I'm not allowed to have a car, but I wasn't going to be walking everywhere. I ain't no pleb. If that's even a word, I really don't know. Fine. Editor me. Is pleb a word? Anyway, I'm not a pleb, so I bought a scooter, an electric scooter, and I was tempted to go for a drive on it, but seeing as I had groceries with me and some of them were frozens, the waffles, even though that wouldn't have much mattered, I still was like, I'll just go back. I don't want to spill anything, because the way I get groceries is I have this giant bag, it's a normal grocery bag, but it's like a good 2.5 feet long or something. Like, it's huge. And my scooter is kind of oriented, kind of motor-ish, wheel-ish area here, big dip, and then like handlebars. So you kind of sit with like your legs down in the dip and sit there. What I do is I put that giant bag full of groceries and milks and chips and bread and all that, and I put it in the center there because it lines up perfectly with it. Then I drive with my legs on either side of it and hold it. It works like a truck bed because you don't exactly get a lot of storage on a scooter. If it wasn't for that, I would have gone for a drive tonight, but I didn't. So only things I did today were a little bit of editing, some gas mask stuff for work, some GTA, and some shopping, which actually isn't that short of a list comparatively to some days. So for all of those of you tuning into this first video, you get some content, which is honestly can't ask for much more. If you're seeing this video, this one's not going to be very edited because I'm not really talking about a lot of different things. The last couple of the videos have been more edited. So if you're curious as to what that looks like, check out some of the older ones. Some of them I was putting clips of gameplay into along with some music. I'm tempted to make some music videos with Grand Theft Auto or other gameplay in it because I've actually kind of always wanted to do that. I kind of have an itching to be a bit more creative, so that might happen later, which is why it's not here. I want to separate those ideas. There's a Terraria playthrough, which honestly, don't bother. It's not flushed out yet. I want to get somebody else to join me in that so that I have somebody to kind of bounce back and forth with, because right now it's just me kind of talking quiet, kind of going about it, because they're recorded very long. I record about an hour and 10 minutes at a time for about a 20-minute Terraria video, so my voice gets kind of tired and I get kind of tired. So they're pretty stretched out things. In fact, right now I'm running low on water and my voice is getting tired and I'm getting tired. I'm only 16 minutes into recording, so I'm going to end it here. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you have, I really appreciate it. Very few do, and I understand that if you don't. Wherever you are out there in that easy come, easy go world of ours, whether it be a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, or a good night you may or may not be currently experiencing, I do sincerely hope whatever it is, that it is good. Alright, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much for sticking around. Hope to see you in the next one. This has been Overlord Pop-Tart, a guy who's been playing with a rubber band underneath the little screen here for like the last 4 minutes and is just now realizing it. And I'll see you around. Stay frosty.